In this episode, me and my wife have worked on making Emeris feel like an actual world. We have started adding some wildlife, a day-night cycle, and after a lot of debugging, animals should now sleep at night. In version 003, I started making a simple AI animal. Before adding this animal, it first needed somewhere to live. So I quickly built a small grass test area and added a nav mesh so it had somewhere to move around. The first thing I had this AI do was simply to wander a random location and stand still for a while before moving again. I got this working quite fast, and seeing that little cube randomly walking around got me really excited. From the beginning I knew I wanted animals to react to players, so I added a very simple herding mechanic. You simply walk up to an animal, press H, and it'll start panic and run away before eventually calming down and continuing its normal behavior. The animal models themselves were made by my wife, and replacing the cubes with animals was a really satisfying moment. In version 004, I added an in-game clock and made the sun move according to time of day. I started working on animals going to sleep at a certain time. Of course, I had some multiplayer bugs where animals were sleeping for the server, but not for clients. Eventually I got everything working, and seeing the entire herd lie down at sunset at the exactly same time was really satisfying. And I had some fun jumping over cows while playtesting. I also spent quite a bit of time trying to get the day and night cycle feeling just right. I wanted the days to last longer than the nights, and eventually added both stars and a moon. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Here's a quick look inside the animal blueprint. There are a lot more variables and functions than I expected for something that mostly just walks around, stands still, and goes to sleep. If you'd like me to explain any systems from this or other videos in more detail, let me know in the comments or join our Discord. The link is in the description. Once everything was working in the prototype level, it was finally time to move everything into our Oasis map. I added a new nav mesh, placed some animals around the world, and started testing. I spent quite a while trying to make the lighting match the prototype level, but ended up flashbanging myself. After far too much debugging, I eventually realized I could simply copy most of the lightning setup from one level to another. You might have also noticed that the world loaded from a save file, which should now be working as intended, although it needs more playtesting. Unfortunately, the replicating bug followed me into the Oasis as well, where clients don't see sleeping animals. I think it's finally fixed now, but only more testing will tell. I've done a lot of local multiplayer testing during these two updates and fixed more bugs than I can remember. At this point, I'm really happy with how everything is coming together. Here we can see one player herding an animal, while another client and the server both see exactly the same thing happening. Seeing multiplayer features I built actually working properly still blows my mind. The last step now should have been easy. Package the project, upload it, done. Instead, my dedicated server had completely different plans. An entire evening spent digging through Windows Event Viewer and Dell server logs, I finally found the culprit. My Windows Server evaluation license had expired, and Windows had gracefully been shutting down my server about every hour. So I bought the license, got everything activated, and the dedicated server is now happily running the latest version of Emeris. Looking back, I'm really happy with how version 003 and 004 turned out. The first gave Emeris its first real wildlife, the latter gave the wildlife a world to live in. Even though Emeris is still in its very early stages, it finally feels like it's becoming an actual living world instead of just another one of my Unreal projects. If you'd like to get involved, follow the development, or even contribute assets with commercial-friendly licenses, feel free to join our Discord. I'd love to keep building Emeris together with the community. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched the video, commented, liked, or subscribed. I didn't think anyone would care about this project at this stage, but your reactions motivates me to keep working on Emeris. I'm happy to be sharing this journey with all of you. And also, a huge thank you to my wife, who's become more and more involved in the project. None of this would look the way it does without the models she's created for the world.